So the winter session of Parliament that has begun today being the second day, as in some time from now, we will be looking at the session commencing and will continue till the 20th of December. On Monday, on the first day itself, both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha were adjourned till 11 a.m. today on Wednesday after brief proceedings. Let's get you exactly what all has happened in between when we take a look at the Parliament proceedings and what all is now expected today to happen, because it is now expected to be a stormy winter session as far as the opposition and the Congress in particular have raised multiple adjournment motions with significant focus on the Adani issue. They've demanded immediate discussion in the session regarding allegations and developments surrounding when it comes to the Adani group. These are the main focal points, as we have seen even on the first day of the Parliament session as well, where there were adjournment motions on part of the opposition parliamentarians who had sought for a discussion on the Adani issue, as far as the opposition seems to be prepping for a face-off. And importantly, when it comes to the Prime Minister, on the first day, just before the session began, the Prime Minister had appealed to the MPs for constructive discussions, hitting out at the opposition for jeopardizing the proceedings and not allowing the new members to speak. So it seems, Sabyasachi, good morning, the opposition is now geared up to corner the government on several issues, in particular the Adani issue in Parliament.
Well, that's right. Since the beginning of the winter session, several adjournment motions have been given by different Member of Parliament from the Congress party. Today itself, Randeep Surjewala, Manikam Tagore as well as Manish Tiwari have given adjournment motion asking for a discussion on the allegation on the Adani group. Now, the Congress party says that they want a proper discussion and the government should come out and clarify its stance on the Adani issue and why is the government running away from having a discussion on it. Now, several of the Congress leaders, in fact, have leveled allegation against the central government, against the BJP, specifically stating that they have been sold out to Adani, and that is the reason why they are not holding any sort of discussion inside the House. Now, other than the Adani issue, several other issues are also being lined up by the opposition to counter the central government, one of them being the Sambal issue, and another one which Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra would be looking forward. And in fact, the Congress party has said that in the leadership of Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, they would be protesting inside and outside the Parliament against the indifference of the central government in providing funds to the landslides that happened in Kerala. So these are some of the issues which the opposition parties would be raking up inside the House. And today at around 10 a.m., the India Alliance floor leaders meeting had taken place inside the Parliament, where Rahul Gandhi also was part of this meeting. Now the opposition is talking out the plan how to counter the central government and ask a discussion on these pressing issues which are going around. Meanwhile, the war of words is only going to intensify. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the central government, time and again, be it Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju and Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself have asserted that the government is ready to have any sort of discussion, but it is the opposition which time and again
before when we talk about the Parliament proceedings, the winter session today being the second day to commence, and on part of the opposition, they seem to be ready to corner the government on part of adjournment motions that have also been cited on the Congress's side. This is Congress MP Manikam Tagore giving a notice of my intention to ask to leave for the motion, to move a motion for adjournment in the House over when it comes to the papers to discuss a definite matter with regards to the Adani issue. This is what has now been cited on part of the Congress MP, as they are expected to raise the issue on the floor of the House today. Now, these are the developments that we have been also talking about, as far as not one but multiple issues that the opposition seems to be gearing up to corner the government. Of course, when it comes to the leaders from the opposition, who are expected to also hold a meeting on this as to what their strategy exactly would be when it comes to taking on the government. But the first day itself of the Parliament winter session that began was shortly adjourned till today, which is Wednesday, till 11 a.m. And today it is also expected to be a stormy one, as the opposition plans to corner the government on key issues like what has happened as far as the indictment of businessman Gautam Adani by the QS court. Let's in the meantime talk about the Adani group itself, which has now issued a statement denying any bribery charges against the founder Gautam Adani or his nephew Sagar Adani following the indictment by the US Department of Justice. The company has clarified that reports stating the Adani officials were charged under the US Foreign Corrupt Practices Act or the FCPA are incorrect.
Sir, you mentioned about how the charge sheets are not specific in nature and do not mention the Adani company at all.
No, Adanis are not mentioned in count number 1 and 5, I have told you. They are mentioned in 2, 3 and 4. But I have also told you that the names of the alleged conspirators or bribe takers or the details of the bribe or the amounts or the companies to which they belong, they are not mentioned at all.
Sir, what would be the further legal recourse for...
Madam,
and also the stocks have also fallen.
Ask Mr. Adani, I cannot say what will be. They will engage American lawyers and they will respond.
We're right now being joined by senior advocate Mohit Malani. Sir, what has happened in US regarding the Adani case has repercussions in India too. We have seen that how the opposition parties are protesting. They want a JPC. The Congress party talks about that how this has to be discussed in the parliament. Now, what exactly are the facts of the case? Can you please tell to our viewers that what exactly are the facts?
The facts are that this indictment has come at a very ominous time, just on the eve of a parliamentary session. The indictment does not point out the commission of any offences under the Foreign Corruption Prevention Act, right, which is what the United States government and the Department of Justice should be concerned about, because there is no allegation even that bribes have been paid in India. The allegation is that there was a conspiracy to do these bribes, right? And by that conspiracy, you induced investors in the United States to subscribe to the US bonds which Adani Green had issued. Now, even for that conspiracy, that alleged conspiracy, there is no evidence whatsoever. Why is Congress rushing to tread where others don't? What is this post-hurry? Have you asked for the evidence? Have you tried to get the evidence? This evidence can be obtained. What is the evidence on the basis of which the Department of Justice is seeking to indict people in India? But one thing is clear: there are no offences alleged. There is no allegation that actual offences of bribery were committed in India.
So one last question. Now, when we talk about the political part, we know that how the adjournment motions are being given. The discussion is being, the Congress wants discussion in the parliament. And the Congress also comes out and says that why exactly is the government and the BJP defending a private individual, an entity, and why exactly they are not going for the investigation? How do you reply to those charges?
Because that entity has substantially subscribed to India's growth story. He has won contracts which are of key strategic interests for India, such as, for instance, the Haifa port, infrastructure projects in Australia and Sri Lanka, right? And he has done it when nobody else would go there. He has been an Indian entrepreneur, right, who has promoted India's strategic interests. We are a global power now. People who want to halt this, right, are not interested in India becoming a global power.
And you're also questioning the timing also of the indictment.
But why does it come at this time? I mean, isn't that a strange coincidence? On the eve of Parliament, this is done. So this is obviously some American people hostile. I mean, American people means some people in their deep state, and the democratic deep state, who are hostile to India's growth story, and they have their local agents in India.
Well, it seems that matter is likely to resonate on the floor of the House as far as the Parliament session that will begin in a short while from now.